So I thought I would talk a bit about doing things that you may not necessarily like or things that would be considered hard to you. Because oftentimes we need to do things we don't like, whether it be chores or talking to someone about their behavior, things that you don't necessarily want to do, but that need to get done. Often we think that things are actually a lot harder than they are. We think about what we're going to do or what we're going to say so much instead of actually doing the thing, talking to the person. We imagine it so many times over in our head and we think, oh, it's going to go perfectly, or oh, it's going to go terribly, right? And then the result is something completely different, or the person says something completely different than how you thought it was going to go. It goes in a completely different direction, right? So oftentimes we don't need motivation, we need discipline. We know we have to go to the gym. I know I have to go to the gym. I know I have to go to kickboxing. But sometimes I just don't feel like going. And that's when you need it the most. That's when I feel I have to go to the gym the most. I have to go to kickboxing the most. Is when you don't feel like it is exactly when you need to go. If people only did things that they wanted to do, then our world would be completely different, right? Like if people only worked when they wanted or when they felt like going to work, then it would just be so different. Imagine your parents. Do they ever say, oh, I don't really feel like going into work today. I'm not going to go into work. No, never. They've always went into work when they're scheduled to go into work because that's what you're supposed to do as a adult, as a person. You're supposed to stick to your word, right? I'm going to play a clip. This is David Goggins and Andrew Huberman talking about the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. It's a muscle in your brain, and it is responsible. It grows whenever you do things you don't like. Anyway, I'll roll the clip and I'll talk to you after.
I'm going to share a little neuroscience tidbit.
Love it.
But I think it's one that you'll appreciate. Most people don't know this, but there's a brain structure called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. As we pointed out before, that's a noun, it's a name, it doesn't mean anything. Right. We could call it the Cookie Monster.
Right.
But what's interesting about this brain area is there are now a lot of data in humans, not some mouse study, showing that when people do something they don't want to do, like add 3 hours of exercise per day or per week, or when people who are trying to diet and lose weight resist eating something.
Right.
When people do anything that they, and this is the important part, that they don't want to do.
Right.
It's not about adding more work, it's about adding more work that you don't want to do.
Yes.
This brain area gets bigger.
Yep.
Now here's what's especially interesting about this brain area to me. And by the way, I'm only learning this recently because it's new data, but there's a lot of it. The anterior mid-cingulate cortex is smaller in obese people. It gets bigger when they diet. It's larger in athletes. It's especially large or grows larger in people that see themselves as challenged and overcome some challenge.
Right.
And in people that live a very long time, this area keeps its size. In many ways, scientists are starting to think of the anterior mid-cingulate cortex not just as one of the seats of willpower,
Right.
but perhaps actually the seat of the will to live.
See, now we're talking.
And when I learned about the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, I was like almost out of my seat. And I've been in the neuroscience game since I was 20.
Now
we're the
we're
same
talking.
age. And I was so pumped because I've heard of the amygdala, fear, prefrontal cortex, it's planning and action. I could tell you every brain area and I teach neuroanatomy to medical students. But when I started seeing the data on the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, I was like, whoa, this is interesting.
Yep.
And all the data point to the fact that we can build this area up.
Yep.
But that as quickly as we build it up, if we don't continue to invest in things that are hard for us, that we don't want to do, that's the part that feels so Goggin-esque to me, that we don't want to do. Like if you love the ice bath, yeah, I love the ice bath, and you go from 1 minute to 10 minutes, guess what? your anterior mid-cingulate cortex did not grow.
None.
But if you hate the cold water, if you're afraid of drowning and you get into water and put your head under,
Yep.
then your anterior mid and survive, then the anterior mid-cingulate cortex gets bigger.
So hard times, doing things you don't like, grows this area. So therefore, we should want to try and make it as big as possible, right? We should always try and do things we don't want to do. Cold plunge, gym, kickboxing, schoolwork, chores, anything. Maybe driving somewhere, anything. You have to do what you don't want to do. Doing things you don't like build character, right? And sometimes I find it's easier to do something I don't want to do if someone is relying on me. I had a summer job for 10 days. There's this event that happened in the city that I'm growing up in, that I'm in right now, whatever, that I'm living in. And it was an event, and I got a job there as a cashier. And about halfway through, it was 10 days event. Halfway through, one of my higher ups, she actually referred me the job. So I'm very thankful for her to give me the opportunity. But she came to me, she was like, "Hey, do you want to start working doubles?" I was like, "Yes, I would love that." And she's like, "Perfect. It starts at 6. I'm like, "In the morning?" And she's like, "Yep." And I'm like, "Let's go." Because I do quite enjoy waking up early as long as I have something to do. Like, I do not mind waking up early to go bike to the gym, I'll go to the gym with my older brother at 6 in the morning sometimes, whenever he actually wants to. This is funny. But other times I'll just bike there in the mornings, or during the school, when I'm doing my schoolwork in the mornings. I'm homeschooled, so I whenever during the winter I'll get up at 6. I'll get all my schoolwork done, so that way I can write a script for YouTube, and then I can do YouTube work for the rest of the day, or I can do chores, whatever needs to get done, right? I can do whatever I want for my afternoon. So we have to eat the frog. If you had to eat a frog every day, what time would you want to do it? You'd want to do it during breakfast, right? Because if you get it out of the way, then the rest of your day is going to be very easy compared to eating a frog. And so that's why we should do the hardest things we have to do in the morning first. Take a cold shower in the morning. Do something you don't like as soon as you wake up. You wake up, do something that's hard, so that way the rest of your day is very easy. And I also heard someone say that we should, once or twice a year, do something that is so hard that the rest of your year feels easy compared to it. So like do an Ironman or run a marathon, stuff like that, which I thought was very good. And sometime this year or next year, I would like to run a marathon. That would be awesome. Alex Hormozi says that success is the best revenge. And his mentor that he was learning from in high school that got him into lifting weights also told him that success is the best revenge. But if you're getting picked on by someone, or someone saying, "Oh, that's stupid," like for me, if I don't like someone, but then my channel blows up or whatever, I start earning money from this. If I was like, "Hey, look at me now," that would just sound stupid, because they'd be like, "You did all that just to prove me wrong? That's dumb." Alex Hormozi says something along those lines. He said it a lot better. I probably won't be able to find the clip, but so just keep it to yourself. But success is the best revenge, because then you'll be at a much better place than they are. And you did prove them wrong, yes, and it will feel very good. Prove them wrong. Yeah, that's kind of it for this video. It wasn't really that planned out, but that's okay. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. Like and subscribe for more content like this. And yeah, bye for now.